All right. So this is where we stop. We have our map, the title of our map, and then we have added the legends, which is the key. Okay. I will, in case of confusion, I'll remove the legends again, and then I'll add it. I'll delete. Then I go to legends, and then I'll click, and then I drag. Okay. The place I want to put the legend. Okay. So after that, now, if you look at the name of the legend, now let's assume if you leave this name now on our map, now grid 3 ng/boundary underscore VC state, you understand? It will not make any correct interpretation to our map viewers, okay? So you have to rename this map. We have to rename this legend, okay? You have to rename the text on it. So how do you do that? You click on it. I said anytime you click on any of the objects, it display the information. That is the item property. You see, you have the item properties for this legend, okay? Now, you look at it, you see auto update, okay? Auto update, I'll uncheck this auto update so that I can update it myself instead of that auto update. So I'll uncheck it. So as I uncheck it now, you see that this place become active. If I click here, you see that they are no more active because you cannot use them. When it's auto update, you cannot update it yourself. But here, it become active now, right? So if I click on this, so now if, for example, if you add some information on your map and you don't need them on your legend, when you add them and then you don't need them, that is when you remove. This minus is to remove the ones that we don't want. This addition is to add other features. But presently on our map, we only have one information. So let's say when you overlaid a lot of information on your map, okay, and you don't want that particular information, you can remove them. Okay, that is for add and remove selected items and add a new legend, okay? But what we want to do is to actually adjust or edit what you write up here. So when I select the item, I'll click on this edit here, this pencil sign, edit selected item. I click on it, okay? Then I'll come here. Then I will select, instead of that grid, I can just write Nigeria state boundaries. Okay. So now you see, we have this now, Nigeria state boundary. So now, even you, without explaining this map to anybody, as far as you export this map, with these three information, you show that this is map of Nigeria. And then these colors you are seeing here, this boundary you are seeing here, these are different boundaries for different states in Nigeria. So somebody that did not know Nigeria, okay, as far as you give the person this particular map, at least the map has a meaning. You see a lot of map that some people produce without a title. Okay, recently, in fact, it was even last week or so, somebody brought a map here for us to do in our office. In fact, it's a PhD map that somebody do for them. Okay, and when I was looking at the map, I discovered that the map did not even have a title. So the man has to tell me what the map is all about. But when the map have a title, you don't actually need to explain to anybody. You understand? This title of your map and then the legend actually give you explanation of your map. The other information like scales, not arrow and all that, that one is just for possibly additional information to know which particular scale this thing is being placed. But giving you an explanation of what the map is all about, these two items will actually give you explanation of what the map is all about, okay? So this is it, map of Nigeria and Nigeria state boundaries. Okay, now if I click here now, I can also, if you go down here, you have symbols, you have font and font and text format. You click here, click on the arrow, you can increase the font. Let's assume this thing is small, you can increase the font and all that. Now, if you go to symbols, for example, the symbol width and the symbol height, I can increase it. For example, you see that the symbols is increasing, right? And then this is, I'm increasing the width. I increase the width to 15, and then the height to, let's say 10. Let's say 10. Okay, so you see it, at least it look more visible. Okay, and then it's actually clear. You arrange your map so that at least let there be a line. You see that as I'm moving the map now, you see there's a line, you see there's a thin line showing that shows that where the position of my mouse now, or the position of that particular item, is aligned with the end of the map. So you see, okay, so that is how you arrange your legend. Then we talk about rotating. If you can rotate your legends, okay, you can rotate it. But that one, there's no need for rotating this particular legend. So depend on the information that you want to rotate. You can add a background color to it. For example, as I click now, add a background color, but presently the background color is white. I can decide to change it to, let's say, red, and see. So you see it showing red now. Then you still go down. There are more informations that you can add. Sorry, under the this is frame, and then we have the background color. Let me remove the frame and then add the background color. I'll change the background color to red. So you see, guys want to change the background color, but there's no need of changing background color because it will actually interfere with other information in your map. So I'll remove background color, and then it will be there like this. Okay, if you want to add frame to it, you can also add your frame. I hope you understand, right? You are following me, right?
Yes, we are following.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Please, you can mute yourself back. You can mute yourself so that will not. All right. So now we have successfully add our the map title and then the legends. Okay. So the next thing is our scale. Okay. So I'll click on the scale and then I come to where I'm placing my scale and then I drag it. Okay, it will display the scale bar. Okay, under the scale bar now you can decide to increase the segments. Sorry, I should increase it to 3. So now one thing is that we have what we call numeric scale, okay, and graphical scale. So there are some map that, or there are some people that when they are producing a map, they show both of them, both the numeric and the graphical scale. All right. So how do you do that? If I select here now, as I add this place, under the single box here, under this, that is a style now, I'll select numeric. So now it will show the scale itself. You see it? I can drag it and arrange it, possibly position it at the center. And then I'll add another scale again. I'll see add another scale. So I'll leave this one now as a graphical scale. I can increase it to possibly 3 and then adjust it. So have 2 of them like this. You can also change your scale. Let's say instead of numeric, you can change line tick up, because this particular double box now or single box, we can change, let's say line tick down or line tick up. So let's assume I use line tick up. So you see, you can represent your graphical scale like that. So you can change anything that you want to change under the style. Okay. Now let's assume you have different map. We have map 1 and map 2. What I mean by that is that possibly you produce a map of Nigeria and then you want to put something they call overview. Maybe you want to put a map of the world showing the map of Nigeria, an overview of it. So that if somebody will tell you, or possibly want to show a Bauchi state map. So you want to show that, okay, the overview of Nigerian map, so that when somebody look at, before you look at, you will see Nigerian map first, and then you will now see the Bauchi state map, okay? So at that point now, you see that you have two different map 1 and map 2. That is why we have it. So you can select, maybe you want to add a scale, you make sure you know that you are dealing with map 1 or map 2. But as far as this, our map is concerned, you only have map 1, okay? So you can be play around with your map 1 first, okay? So we continue down. This is the height of this our line tick, you see? If you want to increase it, you can increase the height, but there's no need of that, so you have to reduce it. So you reduce it, all right? Reduce it, all right? Then we continue. If you want to add a frame to your scale, if you want to add the background color, the same thing, you can add the background color, which to me, there's no need for all those things, okay? Because it will not even make your map to look fine. So you don't actually need to change the background. So you leave your background to be white. As far as you are printing your map on a white background. So I remove background color. I can also remove the frame. I don't need the frame. But if you want the frame, you can add it. Okay. So we continue. Is there any other things that we need to do to the? Okay, I think this is basically what adjustment that we need to do to our scale. Okay, then possibly we can shift it down. Now, you discover the reason why it is easy, or the reason why it is scanty like this, is because our legend, we are only showing only one item, or the key is only one, because that is the only thing we have. Possibly we are showing a map of Nigeria with a Kaduna state map, or a map of Nigeria with another state map. You see that we have a two legend to show. Or you are showing a map of Nigeria with a particular state, and then at the same time, you want to show maybe schools or buildings within that locations. Or as one of our colleagues is talking about facilities, you need to show all the buildings that is being digitized. So all those things, possibly the point, you understand, also be shown. Okay. So that is how you arrange your scale. All right, so the next one is arrow. All right, our north arrow. The position of the north arrow will actually determine the orientation of your map. Okay, so possibly I can just add my north arrow. This is add north arrow. You see it here? I can just add the north arrow at an angle, less at the side of this scale. So you see, you have a north arrow here. You can increase it. You can also move it if you don't want it at that position. Or let's assume you want it somewhere here. The big on its own. You can put it somewhere here. Or possibly you can even put it before the scale. Or you can as well put it in your map. Inside your map item. Okay. So this is how you input your north arrow. So let me leave it here. Then initially I added this my logo, so I'll put it somewhere here. Okay, so is there any other information that we're supposed to add? Map, title, scale, legend, not arrow. Okay, title, scale, legend, not arrows. Okay, so basically these are the components of map. Okay, what are the components of map? But on your own, you can make sure you arrange your map so that it will be visible. Okay, so any question? All right, so we continue. When you arrange your map now, so the next thing now is to export your map. Okay, this your map is okay. So you export it so that other people you can send it to any other person and you can see it. So how do you export that? Now, before you export, I told you that if you click on this refresh, it will show you possibly where you make an adjustment. Maybe you are producing a map, you discover that you don't like this color. So you go back to your QGIS environment thing and change your color using symbology. And then you click here to refresh so that the information will be shown here. Now, if you click here on this place now, if you see lock layer, if you lock this layer, that is to say you have finished adjustment. You don't any refreshment you change, anything you change here, if you click on refresh, as far as this layer is locked, it will not going to change. So mind you, if you lock your layer, anytime you make any change to in your layers, make sure you unlock it, then you click on refresh. Okay, but it's good to lock layers so that maybe there's some other information in your map that you don't want them to show on your composer so that it do not mistakenly show when you are exporting your map. Then if you click on this 1:1 here, it will tell you how your map is going to look like when you print it, because it's going to zoom it to that paper size. So you see how it will definitely look. So you click it and see the visualization. So you see how it look now. This is Cardinal. You understand? So you see that it's actually okay, right? At least it's visible. It's in the text and everything. So if you click and then discover that it's not visible, then you actually need to work with your scaling, or you increase the size of the paper that you're using and all that. Okay. So after that, I can just click on export. Now we have our export here. Export as image. We have export as PDF here. So by we are going to use export as an image. So I'll click on export. It will take me to where I'll save it. So I can go to my desktop, GIS folder, the folder that we created the other time, and then map. So I'm going to put this exported map now inside the folder called map. So I'll call it map of Nigeria, right? And it saved, the format is JPEG, right? So I'll click save. And then I'll click save. So you see, we have map, we have exported a map. You see that your exported layer successfully export to layers, you understand? So we have ended up in producing our map. So if you go back to that your folder, let's say, if I can share my screen. Okay. So if I go back to my desktop, and then I'll go to GIS folder, then I'll go to the map. So you see the map that we export. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing the map? I need the response, please.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So now this
Yes,
is
we are seeing it.
okay. So this is the exported map. So I'll click on the map, and then you see our map. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing the map as I open it now?
Yes, sir, we are seeing it.
Good. All right, so this is the map. So at the end, you have actually produced a map and in JPEG format. So the same thing if you want to export as a PDF. Let's assume you are required to produce a map on PDF. We go back to map 1. So let's assume I want to export as a PDF. I'll click on PDF, export as PDF, and it take you to environment, the same environment where I save, which is desktop GIS folder and map. So I can call it any name, let's say map 1, and the format is PDF, so I can click save. And it's telling us, okay, which append to referencing, always expand as vector. So I'll just click on save because I'm just exporting it as PDF. Okay, so this is basically how you can produce your map and export your map. So I think we have a good number of time for any question. Do you have any question? So basically, this is how you can produce your map on Composer using QGIS. Please, any question?